Hi, Michelle. Welcome back to the shop. I'm here to do your reading. Happy 2019. Happy New Year to you. I know we spoke a little bit in combo, and you were indicating you, like I, have had a lot of a lot of nothing going on much in 2018. It didn't get us very far. So, hoping for a better 2019. And as I wrote back to you, I still am not in Florida. But I still have the house. Luckily, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. And just making the best of it, trying to get the outside put back together. The lanai fell into the swimming pool, and the fence fell down. I had some superficial, siding things and gutters that got beat up and that kind of thing that needs fixed. So just working on that from here, working with the insurance. Rented it to people that were displaced and couldn't live in their home at all. So feeling very fortunate that it's withstood the storm, and we didn't get any surge water. So, but it definitely took a hit. It didn't allow me to be where I thought I was going to be this winter. I thought I was going to be there, and we're not. But hey, I'm looking forward to going back in the spring and staying longer because I will have other things behind me. I'll have my taxes behind me. I won't need to worry about being here because of the heat and things through the winter as much, and I can stay longer. So I'm looking to that positive. But anyway, thank you for asking and thinking of me as well. And let me see here. I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, I've had so many ducks. It's crazy. Crazy. And then when I think about moving, because I have another move here in Pennsylvania before I would move to Florida completely, so I have to move twice to get to Florida. I have to leave this house and move into another one, and then from that one, I have to go from there. Like, I'll only be there maybe a year and a half, 2 years. As I go back and forth to Florida, half a year. But moving all this stuff so many times, and I'm like, oh my gosh, when you go to see how many ducks you have and all this stuff in your room, it's like crazy. But anyway, I'll just stay focused on the positive and moving forward. I'm really just kind of like, oh my gosh, I see where I want to go. I thought I had the deck I wanted to use, and they're like, no. So just not wanting me, but now I know I can see it, and I gotta get up. I gotta get up and go get it, and I'm gonna use also this other one. Anyway, now we're gonna get started. It's probably gonna be a little bit of a longer reading, but that's okay. I go with the guidance. They want me to use the Oracle Tarot. Hopefully this will be okay to do your reading. And I love this deck. It's so cute. I'm going to start with the Hero's Journey. And it's this deck. And I know you said you had a relationship fizzle. He didn't get as far as you thought you were going to with your business. New business venture. I totally understand. And I feel like my energy's shifting too. So my readings are shifting, and what I'm doing, I want to get more into healing. I want to get more into self-empowerment and empowering others, and just I felt like just a huge energy shift away from how things work. The energy is just different right now, and so I'm moving in a new direction, and it'll probably be reflected again in my shop here soon. I'm going to be switching up my readings and doing things a little differently. So I'm focused on the Hero's Journey message for 2019 for Michelle, God and the Angels, Archangel Michael. Wanted me to look at the bottom, which I thought, what? Sometimes I get, and I was reading, it says, build in breaks, saunter slowly. So we're going to read both of these. I'm going to read that one first, actually. So this is a message to you. When I was shuffling, I was getting like this off to the left, and which is weird because I usually get, like, if I'm getting messages, it usually feels like it's coming to me from the right, and I felt like I was shifting to my left. If that makes sense. I'm sure it makes sense for you. So it can also be something shifted for you, or you're going to shift the way you do things in your life. And right is the hand I write with, and left is the hand I don't. So that could also be left in, could be also something, I'm not quite sure why that was happening here. But I want to give it to you. It may make sense for you. This is saying saunter slowly. Don't power walk. Saunter slowly in the sun, eating chocolate and carrying a blanket so that you can take a nap. And it's Sark, S-A-R-K. I'm going to hold it up there so you can see it, a little poem there. And then I'm going to read it to you. So, sometimes you don't feel like showing up, and that's okay. Sometimes you want to quit, and that's okay. Sometimes you just want to hide your head under the covers, and that's okay too. Resistance is part of the journey. However, where the hero takes a nap, then keeps on going, the ordinary person simply gives up. It's not that the hero doesn't ever fantasize about quitting, eating a tub of ice cream and throwing their commitment off a 100-story building. Oh yeah, but the hero builds a space for resistance without having to burn any bridges. The hero takes a break, paces themselves, and allows resistance to join the epic journey because it's coming whether you want it to or not. So your epic journey is coming whether you want it to or not. Resistance, as challenging as it may be, has a right to be there, but it doesn't have to stop you from moving forward on your hero's journey. The dream symbol here is breakup. A breakup in a dream can denote change in a pattern in your life, which could have to do if I felt this. And it was odd because I could feel the whole side of my head, of my left side too. However, it could also be a rehearsal helping you process your feelings about how you would handle the end if it did occur. Remember, the best relationships and projects survive many stops and starts on the way to becoming actualized. This dream could indicate the need for space from a destructive pattern in a relationship or job. These dreams can guide you through the process of ending and rebirth. This is a journey, not a sprint, so build in breaks and reward yourself along the way. So it's like, it could be about your relationship. Perhaps it'll come back around. I don't want to get into that, but it could be anything that isn't working in your life, whether it be relationships, the job. So it's just saying it may seem like you hadn't gotten anywhere, but you're kind of building in spurts. And so allow for that feeling. Don't stop, keep going, right? So, divine drunkenness. Surrender to your spiritual revive. I can't say that word. 45, which is 9. You had 9 and 6. Let me see, 45. I am so drunk I have lost the way in and out. I have lost the way in and the way out. I have lost the earth, the moon, and the sky. Don't put another cup of wine in my hand. Pour it in my mouth. Rumi. It says, you've said yes to becoming all you can be. Yes to becoming your best self. And yes to contributing to the world by remembering your dreams, sharing your gifts and talents. It seems the universe heard you and is responding in kind. Instead of panicking at the loss of who you thought you were, celebrate your gain. By releasing who you were, you have created space to explore the infinite possibilities of who you shall become. Your divine disorientation is due to the disappearance of the self you've come to know over all these years. Take heart knowing the sacred storm taking place within is part of your transformation. I used another word, but I can't pronounce it. Apotheosis. I can't say it. It means transformation. You are experiencing evolution from where you've been in the human you were born to be. From where you've been to the human you were born to be. The arranging of cells, molecules, atoms, electrons, and quantum material that hold you together is a wild party. Call it good and revel in the divine obliviation. The dream symbol is an intoxication. Being drunk in a dream signifies a desire to drop your inhibitions in love and or spiritual revive. I can't say that word. And this dream might come as a message to take a sober look at your life and what you are truly committed to. Consider whether you are checking out or dropping more deeply into life. The dream could be affirming that you are allowing yourself to be drunk on love or on life, or that this is your courageous next step. I am high on life and off my rocker with the overwhelming beauty that surrounds me. So it's talking about letting go, being intoxicated with life, allowing the process of starts and stops, but not stopping, not allowing things to stop. And when we're drunk, we're not as inhibited. We're uninhibited, right? So there's that feeling there. I want to kind of read it intuitively. So that's kind of the feeling, like creating from that space of inhibition is the word that's coming there in this upcoming year, 2019. So those are the messages that are coming forward. And I want to use the sacred symbols. Whoa! They went flying. Sacred symbol from Michelle for 2019, and it's message. These two are talking to me. Shadow, but it was upside down. So releasing shadow, doing shadow work. I'm going to read it. It was, what is hidden? What is in the dark? What is it that you don't want to see? This card comes to tell you that all cannot be in the light because there must be a balance. The shadow is not evil, just misunderstood. Do tread carefully here, though. All things may not be as they seem. The darker hidden aspects of oneself, the ghosts that we hide in the closet. So shadow work can be important, but it was in reverse. So we have focus. So bringing things, when I read those two together, it's like bringing things more into, like out of the shadows, into the focus, into the light, right? Time to be direct and very clear with your intentions. If you've been feeling scattered, now is the time to hone in on your desires. Think about what you do want and not what you don't want. And that, like I said, that was in reverse. So it's there. That's what we're saying. They want you to see this this way. Think about what you do want, not what you don't want. So we may be thinking too much about what has happened, what didn't work. I don't want that to happen again. I don't want to repeat this pattern. I don't want, you know what I mean? Like we may be more focused on that. And when I say we, oftentimes when I'm doing a reading, it also applies to me too. So I love to like perk up and take notice of what's coming because there's a message in there for myself as well. So that being in reverse was important. And it's about don't look. And it's not to say don't ignore the shadow side, don't ignore the negative side, because it does exist, it is there. But don't focus so solely on it. It's like there's something that you're aimed at that isn't serving you. Meditate on this card when you want clarity and directness in thought and speech. Watch your thoughts because you're drawing into your life what you're focusing on. The bow and arrow have long been used as a weapon for hunting and protection. Now used more for sport. It is a great focus, discipline, and sight that one becomes a skilled archer. And for some reason, the thought that we wouldn't shoot a bow and arrow in the dark came up, and I don't know why, because you can't see where it's going, right? So don't shoot the bow and arrow into the dark. Like that's like the obvious. You know what I mean? Like not literally at night, but don't shoot the bow and arrow. Don't focus into the dark. It's just, you don't, you're not going to hit any target. You don't even know where it's headed. So just let that darkness, anything you feel like is kind of following you around, your shadow, anything that's haunting you that didn't work, don't focus on that. Don't look at that as much as you possibly can. I mean, we know that, but there could be something, they're kind of pointing it out to you for some reason there. And like I said, I'm sure there's a message in that for myself. I'll be right back.